problem jumping. When I adopted my dog Junie, she would jump on everyone, and part of the problem was that everyone would encourage her to jump. They were constantly patting their thighs and getting her super excited, so no matter how many times I asked her to sit and rewarded her for sit, it was just too exciting for her to be told to jump up on someone. So since I couldn't train the rest of the world, I decided to train her a new reaction or new response to people encouraging her to jump on the thighs. So, Junie, where'd you go? Are you ready? What do we do when people get excited? Good job. And then you get pets. Good job. Good girl. All right, release. So in order to get that response, this took a lot of time. This took a good 2 weeks to get her where I could really squeal and jump up and down and also have other people do it and her still respond without jumping. So I started off with just having her in front of me, and she already knew the down cue really well. Junie, release. So I could actually do it verbally, down. Good girl. So I had that strong of a reaction from her where I could say the word and I knew she would do it. You don't have to have that strong, release, you can get up now. You don't have to have that strong of a response, but you do need a dog who will quickly lie down if you move. Yes, good girl, to the ground. So you want to make sure one way or another, whether it's a verbal cue or a physical cue, that your dog will respond quickly. We're not actually going to pair this with any words unless you're using the verbal cue of down, but we're going to use the new cue first. The new cue, of course, is going to be the patting on the thighs. If you have a dog that's really excitable, you're going to have to start off really slow. So you're actually going to start off with just gently, Junie, get up first. There we go. You would gently set your hands on your thighs and then cue the down. Now she already knows to do that, but good girl. And all treats are going to be while she's in the down position. But again, I'm going to start off with just a really gradual, just setting my hands gently on my thighs like this. And then I would cue the dog to down, which she's already doing. Release. Eventually, are you excited? I'm going to pat just a little bit more. Yes, good girl. So you're not getting to see that gap in between because she already knows this, but I'm going to see if I can slow her down. Can you sit? Good girl. So I'm going to touch my thighs down. Good girl. But you want to touch your thighs just before you give the cue. Good girl. Release. And then she can get up. So you may need to toss them a treat to send them away so that they don't get excited and jump on you afterwards. So what that would look like is I would pat my thighs down. Yes, go find it. And I toss a treat for her to go find. Good girl. And I do it again. Junie. Make sure your dog's looking at you or doesn't count. Down. Yes. Go find it. And I'll send her away. Now you have to be careful because sometimes with tossing the treat you can get them more excited, but I've found that if the dog really wants to jump on you, you need to send them away so that they don't jump on you again after practicing the down. So when they're consistent with that, you can start getting more excited. So you go from just setting your hands to putting them a little bit more excited to eventually getting a little bit more excited, and eventually you can bend your knees more, get more excited with your voice. And those are all things that people are going to do when they're trying to get your dog to jump on them. And again, at this point, you might only be able to do maybe one at a time and then throw the treat for your dog or work on a relaxation exercise so that your dog doesn't get super excited and go, oh, I'm just going to jump after all. And once they have a really strong response to it, you're going to start adding in the petting as the reward so you can fade out the treats. Release. Are you ready? So I pat my thighs, she lies down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch, yes, and then she gets the treat. And I could treat for staying in the down position. Good girl. Release. Go find it. Go find it. And so it's a little further, honey. Right there. There you go. Matches the floor. So you can do that, but you're going to work on making sure that you touch them before you treat, and then you can start touching them and then treating again. Junie, what do we do? Good girl. So I'm going to touch her. Yes. Good girl. I'm going to treat. Then I might reach over her head because she's good with that. Yes, good girl. And so I'll work in more and more petting, and I might get down on her level. Yes, good girl. Release, go find it. And then she gets to get up. So for this, again, you want to do it really gradually. That would take several steps of starting the touch and then treat and then release before you could work up a couple of touches before you treat. But eventually the reward is just that she finally gets to say hi to the person that she wanted to without being dragged away for jumping. So that's my little exercise for teaching them to lie down instead of jump, and it works much better than the sitting for dogs that get overexcited because it's way too easy to jump out of the sit, and it takes a lot more effort to get out of that down. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.